Hello, everyone, and welcome to Pro Wrestling Inside Now. My name is Brent West. Jack Lord next to me, Rodney West below, and we are going to be talking professional wrestling. A lot of things going on, but we're going to start it out with top 100 wrestlers. Number 52 on my list, Barry Windham. And I think, Jack, he's already been on your list, or maybe it was Rodney's.
No, he was number 58 on my list.
Rodney, was Barry Windham on your list?
I have not put him on my list as of yet. Maybe not, because as you will know, he may or may not be on my list. So
that's
just
good.
so that you know.
Barry Windham to me was tremendous. He could have been a world heavyweight champion. I just I don't know why they never gave him that opportunity. Maybe he didn't want it. So could be could have been a reason why they didn't give that to him. But Barry Windham, tremendous wrestler. All right, Jack, number 52 on your list.
My 52 is Verne Gagne.
Verne Gagne, or as we used to say, Gagne.
Verne Gagne, that's right. Verne Gagne
is what we used to call him back in the day from the wrestling magazines, because really we never saw him wrestle. We saw him in the magazines a lot, though. I mean, back then, that's how you become a star. You didn't even have to see the guy, but you seen him in the magazines, and you said, "Man, this is." That's the reason I think Jerry Lawler was a big star, and when he'd go places, because he was in the magazines. Every one of them was. I see Rodney's playing.
Sorry about that. I cannot get the chat to come up, but so chat place to come up. So
chat may not be working. Maybe I
have not seen it come up yet. I'm sorry if it hasn't.
It's working on my side.
Okay, well then it's just not. It's my computer. I've had issues today, so
yeah, it is coming up. I see it coming up.
Okay, very good.
Verne Gagne, Rodney, what do you think about Verne Gagne?
Truly a legend. I mean, this guy was goes way back to the days in Chicago at the old Empty Theater. Would have been was one of the contenders for the World Heavyweight Championship. Of course, he broke away because they wouldn't give it to him. But anyway, a tremendous wrestler, for no doubt. You don't stay on top, even if you have your own organization. You don't stay on top and draw that many years if you don't have any talent. And the man definitely was a talented man and a great promoter as well.
Glenn Allen Shelton said something here. He said, "I thought he was the NWA champion for a little, but I think he was a transitional."
That was. I think they had already split and made the WCW World Heavyweight Champion, and then they brought back in the NWA World Heavyweight Championship, and it was just it wasn't as meaningful.
Yes, I would agree with that. That was not as good. All right, Rodney, number 52 on your list.
I have some everybody's already discussed before, and that is the Spoiler. One of the most agile wrestlers that has ever been. Just tremendous talent, no matter where he was at, no matter what capacity he was in. Whether he was a super destroyer with Mid-Atlantic, just a tremendous wrestler in Georgia. They had made him out to be some monster from Singapore, and it worked. It worked, and he was a tremendous athlete and wrestler, a tremendous draw, no matter where he went. The Spoiler.
I just saw a match today. It was the Super Destroyer, which was Don Jardine, as he was not the Spoiler for whatever reason in the Carolinas, but he went against Jerry Briscoe.
Yeah,
and man, he goes to the top rope during this match, and the place goes nuts. I mean, they go nuts like this. And he must have hurt some people coming from the top rope, and so the people went nuts.
I've seen that match. That is an awesome match.
Yeah, good stuff back in those days.
Well, to show you the long-term effects that the Spoiler had on the industry, I've been in. I'm not in a whole lot of wrestling groups because if you're allow idiots in, I don't stay very long. But there's a lot of great groups out there, very respectful fans. But the Spoiler's name has come up several times over the last week. So he's still very much at the forefront of people's memories, which speaks volumes as long as it's been since he left us.
Yeah, he was superb in the wrestling ring, and that voice, he had one of those voice that was distinguishing. When he would talk, you listened. Tremendous wrestler. All right, guys, y'all ready to go ahead and see what the insiders have got to say? Going to go
Reel 'em
right
in.
quickly to it. Richard Hood is with us. Richard, how are you doing, sir? Also, Jason. Whoop. Let's see. Brian Young. Hello. Missed y'all the last few weeks. By the way, Brian Young is going to be with us next week. He has
Right.
got a story to tell. And the story he's going to tell is about Andy Kaufman and Jerry Lawler. He will tell a story about that, and we will have him on here next week, and so he can tell that story.
That's right.
Wrestlers.
He may or may not plug his book.
But he will be with us next week. So tell everybody he's got a couple of stories he's going to tell us about the Wrestler's Wrestler, the book that is on sale at Amazon. So get over there and get that book because it's a good book. Good evening,
Great
everyone. Hope all is well from Jason Monday. Guardians, I think he says Guardians of Chaos. Guardian of Chaos. Now there.
Sounds like a good gimmick.
Yes. Let's see. Do you have
And if you were behind the scenes before the show starts here, we are quite prone to have a lot of chaos.
That's right.
This is true. This is true. Oh, Wendy Harkins. Good evening, guys. Hope all is well with y'all. We are doing good in the times right now. Howdy, y'all from Nashville, Larry Vanderpool. Larry, you just gotta really, it's a nice trip to Knoxville on Friday, March 18th. It's a nice trip. So come and see us in Knoxville on March 18th at the Old City Performance Center there. So Mickey Mayfield said, good evening, everyone. Dr. Phil Bull Grice is with us as well. Hello, gentlemen. Robert Grice is with us. Larry also said Barry was NWA champ once. I thought, yes, I just don't believe people remember it. I don't think it was memorable because he wasn't the champion long, I don't think.
And like I said, they were not pushing it as the top world's championship either.
Yeah, that's true. Hello from Northwest Tennessee, Glen Allen Shelty, number 52, Paul Orndorff.
Good choice.
Yes. Michael Barr says hello from Southeast Alabama, number 52 for Mickey Mayfield, Blackjack Mulligan. Man, if you did not see him when he was in the Carolinas, man, he was over. I mean, superbly over. Everything he did was tremendous, and people would, And Jack, I believe you said you were in that area for a while, and you got to see people like Blackjack Mulligan.
I got to see Blackjack a couple of times. I never got to meet him, but later on in life, he was on Facebook quite a bit in his later years, and we connected. And when I was going through, I had a lot of health issues resulting from a knee replacement. And he started messaging me daily. And we talked, a good bit every day, just checking on me, just praying for me. I mean, he was a great guy. He really was.
Blackjack Mulligan. Rodney, what do you think about Blackjack?
Blackjack, that is one of a kind. There's no duplicate of Blackjack Mulligan. No, and no matter what capacity you want to put him in, the man could, when he got out there and he got on that microphone, he was ready to talk people into the seats, and that's what he did. And no matter where he was at, whether it was up in the AWA, which was managed by Bobby Heenan, and then down in Florida, just as big in Florida as he was in the Carolinas. Tremendous wrestler, tremendous talent, and a big man too. When he walked in a room, you could see him, no doubt about it. Blackjack.
He was great at commentary for that little short time in WCW. He was so good at what he did. He had such a way about him.
Charisma. You could put that charisma right up there with Dusty and Superstar Billy Graham, and just a larger than life character he was. Blackjack Mulligan.
Glenn Allen. I thought he was NWA champion. Yes, he was. Brian Young. Here's his Number 52, Danny Hodge. He's given us the 51, Bill Eadie, the Masked Superstar, Demolition Axe. Didn't particularly care for his Demolition Axe time. I don't know why. I just never did. He was good at it. I just thought the Masked Superstar was better. And Tully Blanchard. After I have seen Tully Blanchard, I'd almost move him from where I had him originally because, man, he was so good. I mean, don't y'all think that Tully Blanchard was probably the best of the four? I mean, really, of the four horsemen, he was so good.
It was, and I know I'll probably get blowback for it, but that's okay. Not the first time, and it won't be the last. But Tully Blanchard should never have been a four horseman. He should have been a standalone talent, featured very prominently, because to put him in a group, just trying to, basically they hit him. They try to hit him. I mean, there is no better matches on TBS, and I don't care who he was wrestling. I don't care if it was Mike Jackson or whoever else he was in the ring on TBS. That was the best match on the show. And he did that purposely. He really showed what a great talent was. And it really showed his talent when he was in the houses. All the hard work he had done on television pays off in the arenas. That place is electric. He and Magnum TA tore the place down. I mean, tore the place down. And I doubt it was hard. It was very hard to follow that, no doubt.
Jack, what do you think about these Brian Young, the Danny Hodge, Bill Eadie, Tully Blanchard?
Well, you can't go wrong with Danny Hodge. I mean, Danny, you could place Danny at number 1 and not be wrong.
That's right.
And Tully, of course, everybody knows how I feel about Bill Eadie. But Tully, I absolutely agree. Tully Blanchard is probably one of the greatest professional wrestlers of that era.
Yeah, this tremendous stuff. All right, Mickey, David Bice. David Bice said, good evening, guys. Missed the last weeks. Glad Jack doing good. Can't wait to Knoxville to meet everybody. And again, he's talking about Friday, March 18th. The Old City Performing Arts Center, the old school studio wrestling show, television wrestling show, and only a certain amount of tickets are available. So if you want to go ahead and get your tickets now. There's only like 196 seats available. So go ahead and get your seats now because you're going to enjoy it. You're going to enjoy it. I don't even care if you're a young wrestling fan. You're going to enjoy it.
Like we said, and like I said in the press release received, those who have not ever seen this style of wrestling will be something new to you. Those who have, it will be very familiar. You'll feel like you're coming home. So that's exactly what we're going for.
51 for Mickey Mainfield, Blackjack Lanza. Number 50, King Kong Bundy. Always liked King Kong Bundy.
Another unique one. Yeah.
The 5 count.
Yes.
I don't know that anybody ever done that prior to King Kong Bundy that I know of. It may have been done in wrestling, but King Kong Bundy was tremendous, and then goes from there to work for a computer company where it says if a big dumb wrestler can work this computer, anyone can. Which I don't know. I don't know if that was a good thing.
Well, he did a lot of commercials. He did a lot of TV shows.
Yeah, King Kong Bundy was
married with children. That's still one of my favorite episodes.
This is good stuff. This is great stuff for King Kong Bundy and Blackjack.
And my second favorite episode, anything with Kelly on there.
Charles Bellflower, 52, Brad Armstrong, 51, Ole Anderson, number 50, Mad Dog Vachon. Tremendous. All three of those tremendous. I'm telling you, Brad could be number 1. I know people say, I don't know about that. He never, he was never on the main events, never drew a lot of money. But where he was on the main events and where they did push him, he did draw money. So you go back to Alabama, drew a lot of money in Alabama. And 2 or 3 times did he draw in the Alabama Southeastern Continental Territory. So.
Oh, and let's not forget Mad Dog Vachon. Another one of those larger than life characters. Tremendous talent. And when he came to Atlanta, he was there a very brief time. What a character.
Did we just miss? Did Rodney's sound go out, or it was my sound?
Well, that was my sound that I went out because I did not want to sneeze into the microphone.
Oh,
Oh.
okay.
So I
And I was like, man,
I was
I
trying to
thought
finish
maybe you
the thought.
censored himself. I'm not-
I know I didn't censor myself. I just prevented myself from sneezing into the microphone.
I wish I had that much of a forewarning to do that.
It was, but it didn't come. Little
All right,
letdown.
I'm just
You know.
checking. Hello, everyone. I hope all is well from Victor Nash. Rick Brooks. Hello, everyone from Foulmouth, Kentucky. Who Day? What in the world is that?
Bengals.
Something?
Bengals.
Oh, okay. I got you. That's Sunday, right? Super Bowl plays.
Sunday, Super Bowl. I'll be pulling for the Bengals. Y'all let Les Thatcher know.
Stuart Kemp, welcome all. Jack, this past couple weeks have been tough, hasn't it?
Woo.
Like we just and keep on going. Jack, you want to talk about that?
Oh yeah. I do not recommend COVID for anybody. I'm telling
Okay.
you. But you know what I recommend even less is the flu, because that was even worse. And it was probably because I had not recovered from COVID. But Lord have mercy, from last Tuesday night after this last podcast until Friday, I think that's probably about as sick as I have ever been in my life.
Whew. That's tough. Oh, by the way, Jack, we found out today one of our good friends had passed away, and I'll let you tell the people about that.
David Williamson is a longtime historian. He has been a part of a lot of the historical groups that are on Facebook, lending his knowledge to all those groups. He was also great about sending tapes to all of us, plus so many others out there. David lost his battle with cancer today, and he will be sorely missed.
Yes, he will. I was telling them today that he would always send me this stuff right here, and he would always send me these. I think he did this for a while, and it was just just stuff. Just it did tell you about cards and stuff that he would send me, and yeah, he will be missed. And it wasn't long ago that he sent me a video, a DVD, and it had our Ronnie West on our father, and I appreciate it. I watched it, and so yeah, he'll be missed, and I always like David Williamson. Let's see, David Bice. Seen some good shows the last 2 weeks. Yeah, I've read some of the stuff that David's been going to. He's been going to a lot of wrestling shows. Captain Lou managed the spoiler in the WWF without a mask. I think that was back when you couldn't go to Madison Square Garden with a mask, wasn't it?
Right. Yeah.
So, and I think Mil Mascaras might have been the first person.
He was the one they changed the rule for.
Larry Vanderpool. Unfortunately, I moved to Merritt Island, Florida before your March show. Well, that's a good trip too. I mean, it's just drive right down there. There's an interstate the whole way.
Most people go to Florida for vacation, but now that you live there, you can go to Knoxville for vacation.
That's right. Gatlinburg ain't too far away as well. So you go to Gatlinburg and Pigeon Forge, and you got the Dixie Stampede that you can go see. I mean, it's just
I'm trying to save my money up so I can go a day early and go eat at the German restaurant up there.
Wow.
Michael says, "Good evening, everyone." Michael, how you doing? Mickey Mayfield said, "Chaos and mayhem." That's what it is every time when we're ready to get on, try to go on. It's never fails. We always have a good time. Let's see. Victor Nash, in favor of Black History Month, my favorite African American wrestler was Hacksaw Butch Reed.
Let's go ahead.
Bearcat Brown,
Yeah,
and Thunderbolt Patterson.
Yeah, all good ones.
Rodney,
I want to talk about Reed just for a second. I was just thinking about what I think missed opportunity in Georgia for Reed. He was there very briefly twice. And he did well. I thought the match with he and Buzz Sawyer, where Buzz lost his hair, was tremendous. But right after that, Reed leaves again, and I think we could have seen just Mid-South like success with Butch Reed in Georgia. I just felt like that he could have easily have been a great Georgia heavyweight champion, and he could have drew a bunch of money. But for whatever reason, he didn't stay very long either time he came. But when he did, he made an impression. And we're talking about 270 pounds. I mean, he was the brick house, let's be honest. And he could go. And I remember that first match he came to Georgia against the Freebirds Monday. For whatever reason, we didn't get to see the show that week. I don't know why we missed it, but we got to school that week and everybody was talking about Reed. Everybody was talking about Reed. And then he came back later and, of course, confused everybody with the name change because he was Bruce Reed and now he's Butch Reed.
Even Tom Richards got a little.
Yes. He was kept calling him Bruce. Bruce, let me tell you, just kept saying Bruce. And then on the font coming up, it's Hacksaw Butch Reed up against Buzz Sawyer. And it did well. And that was one of those things where Dad put together that show that week, and the entire 2 hours was building Reed against Sawyer, the hair match at the Omni, and did reasonably well. Not as good as some of the other stuff, but Georgia was struggling at that time. But it was better than the time before. Reed
and for a long
Sawyer.
time, we kept the basketball that was.
Yes, we did.
Buzz Sawyer, we kept it for many
years. Reed had drew Buzz Sawyer's face on.
And they shaved it right there on television. By the way, that was not Ole Anderson stuff. That was Ronnie West stuff because Ole wouldn't have done that. So,
no, Ole had a fit when he saw it.
Yes, he did not like it. But at the same time, he was not working for Ole Anderson. We were working for Jim Barnett. So there wasn't much Ole could do about it. Let's see, Jack, when you talk about African-American wrestlers, who's some of the ones? Because, I said, and one thing I forgot, Ernie Ladd, also one of the best. Jack?
Ernie Ladd, Bearcat Brown, that was one of my first heroes in professional wrestling.
Yeah.
So, and of course, you can't not have this conversation and not have Junkyard Dog in that.
Yes. Oh, he was so good. If you didn't get to see him in Louisiana, man, he was over. But he was over in WWF, and they just didn't do nothing with him.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole time he was there, but he was still over. He still had the ability to get over.
Yes.
Grab them cakes. That's all. That was a great. You know what? As far as music, when they got him away because they didn't want to pay. Let's just be honest. You cannot use that music without getting in trouble or having to pay a bunch of money. So they produced their own music, Grab Them Cakes, which was really a good song for Junkyard Dog. And I thought it fit him in how they presented him. So I thought that was good. It's just great stuff with Junkyard Dog, Ernie Ladd, Bearcat Brown, even Bearcat Wright. As far as I know, I don't think I ever saw him wrestle, but I did see him manager. He was a manager. And man, he was so good.
You're leaving Abdullah the Butcher out. You really can't have a list of great black athletes without putting Abdullah, because even though we might have issues with Abdullah was a big draw, a big attraction everywhere, and literally and figuratively as well. Big attraction everywhere he went. Japan, huge star. Puerto Rico, huge star. Atlanta, until the unfortunate incident, it was a big star. And Pork Chop Cash, one of my favorites of all time. Really great guy. He knew the business and he knew how to do it. Rocky Johnson's another that I can think of.
And he was the one. Pork Chop stayed with us while we was in Kansas City for about 3 months, and Pork Chop would tell us stories about George Gulas. He would say that he was the one that told us that he said that he would say, "Now sell it because Daddy said so." He's the one that told us that story, and he actually wrestled him. So, Pork Chop's such a great guy. I guess he's still in Kansas City, I'm gathering. But just a tremendous man. And boy, he was in shape. He only weighed like 185, 190 pounds, but he looked like he was 230 because he was the way he worked out and the way he carried himself.
You had an opportunity to work out with Pork Chop once.
Yes, I did. He was trying to help me gain weight, and and he worked out really, really hard, by the way. And a 17-year-old kid had a hard time. 16, 17-year-old kid had a hard time keeping up with the
I remember the whining and complaining.
Woo,
I'm sore. My back hurts.
Yeah,
Pork chop basketball. You ready to go work out again? He said, "No, I'll have to skip that. Other things I've got to do."
I didn't do anything while we were there, so I don't know. I wasn't busy.
We're leaving out a good one. Rufus R. Jones. That's another one.
Mhm.
Rufus R. Jones, huge Kansas City area. Everybody in Kansas City knew Rufus R. Jones.
Larry Vanderpool said this show is better than anything on television. Well, thank you so much. We
Thank you.
appreciate it. Daniel Lang, Flair took the NWA title for Wyndham after Arn couldn't do it. Don Garner, I think he's new. I don't know if we've ever. Hello from Southeast Missouri.
Missouri, yeah.
Anybody recall Black Bart, Rick Harris? Yes, tremendous wrestler.
He just celebrated a birthday about a week ago.
Victor Nash, number 52, Wahoo McDaniel. Oh, man, I watched some matches of Wahoo today, too, as well. 51, Steve Kern. I don't know that Steve Kern's made my list. I don't know if it's his fault or if it's because he had matches with Kevin Sullivan. I'm not for sure which one that was. And number 50, Bobo
Brazil. We left him out. Actually, first world champion, Bobo Brazil. Just tremendous draw everywhere he went. Again, everybody knows Bobo. All
right, let me ask you all this question. Rodney, I know they may or may not be on your list, but Steve Kern, did he make your list?
I can tell you he did not. And I will just tell you just point blank and to the point. He is right there along with the list of the other people. He's on my other list, just not on this one.
Jack, Steve Kern on your list?
No, he did not. Yeah, and I like Steve.
Yeah, I thought he was great. But for some reason, those ones just turned me off on him. There was something about the fabulous ones that turned me off on Steve Kern and Stan Lane as well. I don't know why, but there was just something about them, And I know they were supposed to be baby faces in Memphis, but they came over hellish in Memphis to me. But maybe that's the way they were supposed to be. I'm not for sure. Daniel Lang, never knew Mulligan went to prison for counterfeiting. Yes, that's the reason they took him off of television at World Championship Wrestling, because he had been in prison for doing that. I made a horrible joke. I was in Haleyville. Is it Haleyville, Alabama? Yes. Haleyville, Alabama. I was at the Rec Center. Sam Houston, Kendall Wyndham was a tag team called the Los Lobos. I believe that's what they were. They were a tag team there, and they were going against the Blackhearts that night. And so I was in the dressing room and I was talking to everybody, and I said, "Listen, whatever y'all do tonight, whatever y'all do, don't take any $20 bills from Kendall." And he didn't like that very well.
But everybody else did.
Blackjack had machismo in his mustache. Wendy Arkins said, "Rest in peace, the Gladiator." Yeah, Jack, I think he passed away yesterday.
Passed away today. That was Rick Hunter, who also wrestled as the Gladiator in WWE.
All right.
Rick had a pretty good run in Florida, late 60s, early 70s. He was Florida heavyweight champion, I think, 3 times. But he was at, I think, 85 years old. So he had a heck of a run.
Charles said, "Disregard previous picks. Wrong list. Correct list is 52 Ole Anderson, 51 Bob Armstrong, number 50 Superstar Billy." Well, I mean, that was close enough to what his list was. Number 52, Dr. Tom Pritchard. Yeah, I will agree there. Dr. Tom knew what he was doing inside the wrestling ring, no doubt. And if you are an aspire pro, you want to be a pro wrestler, he's got a wrestling school. I think it's Jacobs Pritchard, or is it Pritchard Jacobs Wrestling Academy? I'm not for sure now. I think it's
Well, I
Jacobs.
believe
Jacobs-
Tom.
Jacobs Pritchard.
I heard that Tom beat him, and now it's Pritchard Jacobs. He submitted it. He
Well, they already had the T-shirts printed, so it's.
Oh, okay. Well, I think that's right. I think Jacobs submitted. I think he gave up. Tom talked him into
Wrestling
submission.
Academy. By the way, some of the wrestlers that's going to be on our show March 18th was trained by Tom Pritchard at his academy. So come out there and see those people wrestle, and I think you'll enjoy it. But if you are somebody want to learn to wrestle, that's a good place to go. Let's see, Kevin Penley, number 52, Tony Charles, tremendous wrestler. Tony Charles, Bill Dundee. There's a match on YouTube. If you've not seen it, tremendous match with these two guys. Number 51, Van Vader. Number 50, Ken Lucas. I forget about Ken Lucas every time that I do a top 100 list. I think Rodney, he was on your list, but Jack,
yeah, I can't. Go ahead.
No, he didn't make my list simply because I never got an opportunity to really see Ken.
Oh, man, he was good.
He was really, really good. And when we talked about the matches, he got, was getting ready for his upcoming events or whatever. So much credibility. The way he approached it was just awesome. And if you saw Ken Lucas, you never forgot it. I remember him against Randy Savage with Nick Goulas, Jerry Lawler and Memphis. And then, of course, Rip Rogers. He and Rip Rogers in Southeastern stole the show. They were the second match. Nobody could follow it. They should have been the main event. And you could tell by the reaction of the fans, that was the match they came to see. It was just tremendous. And then, of course, Ken Lucas, Ricky Morton tag team in Texas. Then you could see that with Southwest against the Grapplers. Again, just tremendous
stuff. Also, Ken Lucas, when he was in Chattanooga, wrestling in Nashville, wrestling for Nick Goulas, tremendous stuff as well during that time. He was great. They ain't no doubt. They were great. Michael says number 52. He's got Steve Kern on his list. Number 51, Black Bart, Richard Hood. I think we went through Victor Nash. I think I seen Ernie Ladd, Thunderbolt Patterson, Bearcat Brown. I think Jack, Bearcat Brown, Junkyard Dog. Who else did you say, Jack?
Ernie, Bearcat, and JYD.
There were so many. Because poor chap.
My favorite always will be Bearcat Brown. I just love the leg drop. I don't care. He's just I think like Jack, he was the first. He was my first one.
I got a picture of him and Lynn Rossi right here behind me.
They would just Bearcat
larger than life wrestler. And I will always remember that leg drop on the leg. It was super. It was super.
Kevin Penley, I'm sorry, Rodney, we don't have time for a quiz bowl.
I wish they didn't have time for the quiz bowl. They had no commercials. They had no commercials, but we got to see 30 minutes of that nonsense.
Hey, what about that girl that falls asleep on NXT now during the match?
Is that a fan?
There was some lady. She's a Japanese lady. They tried to use her as some kind of creature from some kind of mean creature. She's a Japanese lady or a Chinese lady. I'm not for sure which one. But she actually goes out and she'll do a move and she'll have a hold and she falls asleep. Have you not seen this?
I have. I am no longer on the NXT bandwagon.
It is the dumbest thing I've ever seen, But hey, I can't say nothing about it. They made $1 billion, actually a little over $1 billion. So what was that?
I don't know, but I wished I could afford to drive like
that. Number 51, Paul Orndorff. I would agree, Michael. No doubt. Wendy Harkin said that my brother just tested positive for COVID. Please keep him in his prayer. We will do that. Michael also says number 50, Bob Orton Jr., tremendous wrestler, by the way. A little tainted. He had a little tainted thing from Plan B, and also Michael Barr also said prayers and condolences to David Williamson's family and friends. Yes, no doubt. Stuart Kemp. David sent me DVDs. Such a great guy. We talked a great deal. I'm very sorry to hear this news. I also see Rick Hunter, a.k.a. the Bounty Hunter. Older guys, yes, but good hand on shows. Yes. Mickey Mayfield. Victor Nash. Trying to narrow down my favorite African-American wrestler is very hard. Too many greats. Thunderbolt, Ron Simmons. Yes,
Yeah.
Ron Simmons. Butch Reed, Rufus R. Jones. Yes.
Which the upcoming Steve Austin little talk show deal will feature Ron Simmons.
Right.
Any thoughts on who's Tony Khan newly signed talent debuting tomorrow night on Dynamite, Jack?
I believe it will be Keith Lee.
Rodney, do you know?
I believe that it used to be Vince McMahon's chauffeur.
Did y'all while we're off on this little tangent here, did y'all see the little headline story about WWE scrambling to replace a superstar the magnitude of Shane McMahon? Which I commented, get a guy out of concession stand that can throw a punch and he'll do better.
I don't know why it would matter. He wasn't there. Did he just show up for that show?
He came for the Royal Rumble. You hear all kinds of rumors going on. I don't know the truth behind any of it. There's a lot of, but apparently he's no longer there. Supposedly Tony Khan is interested in bringing him in, and here I thought he only brought in wrestlers. So I don't know.
That would be a stupid idea.
Oh, it would. It would.
It would. That would not be too smart. Let's see. Glenn Allen Shelton. Ron Simmons, Junkyard Dog, Ron Killens, not comic truth. Yes. Yeah. I think he did a great job when he was Ron Killens. I don't know why. He does a good job at being a comedian. I mean, I have to give him that, but
well, we got it. He's not a young guy anymore. He looks young, but he's doing what he needs to do to keep a job, and hey, more power to him.
He's probably making 7 figures. So hey, well,
he's the only one that does comedy up there that I actually enjoy.
Yeah, because he does it well. He does it in a way that's not really supposed to be funny. He's the Leslie Nelson. Is that how you said Nelson?
Leslie Nielsen, I think.
Yeah. Of the wrestling group. Would Booker T be placed at 52? It'd be a good place for battle. Booker T was good. So I may put him a little higher. Dennis Mitchell is with us, and he said, "How would we rank Burrhead Jones? Love Burrhead, by the way, just a tremendous man, just a funny man. Super Burrhead's what they called him in Montgomery, Alabama. He did some commercials for, I think it was a furniture company.
Yeah,
I believe it was furniture. Norville Austin, and again another great man, just a tremendous man. Ernie Ladd, another great man. Tom Jones never met, but good wrestler. George Wells. George was good until he got to Mid-South. Something just wasn't there in Mid-South. Levi Banks. I'm not for sure I know who that is. Who is Levi Banks?
I remember that name.
Don't need the Rodney?
I'm sorry.
S.D. Jones was tremendous. And
Special delivery, yes.
Rufus
Special delivery Jones. Rufus R.
It's funny because we met Burrhead Jones, traveled down the roads with Burrhead Jones in Georgia, Southeastern Continental, Norville Austin, got to know him very well. Ernie Ladd, got to know him, and Rufus R. Jones, got to know those guys, and we loved them all. They were just tremendous guys. Victor Nash. Remembering Reed and Ron Simmons as a tag team. Yeah, Doom was great. I never understood the mask. I never got that because Butch Reed was such a huge star, and Ron Simmons would have been known from Florida for playing. I don't know why they did that. I just I still won't understand why. By the way, it was Booker T, and I cannot remember the other guy's name now. What was the other guy's name? It's been so long with Harlem Heat. What was the other guy's name?
They had a great theme music. I love their music.
I can't think of his name.
I can't think of his name right now.
And I was just watching something on them last night too. Stevie Ray.
Stevie Ray.
Right.
Yes. And they were so good. And to me, Sherry Martell was great with them. I thought, and I don't think they liked it, but I thought she really worked good with them. Richard Hood, don't forget, Bruce Reed versus the Superstar.
Sure did.
That was good. That was good during that time. Kevin Penley said Bobo Brazil, Booker T and Stevie Ray. That was our brothers in real life. You know, they went through a lot of stuff. I watched a little piece on them. That they was a rough life growing up. So you got to give them the props for what they have accomplished in their life. Ernie Ladd, Butch Reed, Abdullah the Butcher, and so many more. Junkyard Dog sung that song in American Bandstand. Ron Simmons with a one-arm slam of Vader. Let's see. Stuart Kemp, Jerry Morrow, Eddie Morrow. Jerry was one of a kind, mostly Northwest. Couldn't understand him well in interviews due to his strong French West Indian accent, but he was well-traveled and a great hand. Let's see. So where am I at? Daniel Lang. Well, if I could climb that. JYD versus Terry Funk with Jimmy Hart was great. Yes, it was. Tremendous stuff. Just tremendous. One of my favorites, Norvell Austin, no doubt. He was a funny guy too. Cooked some great. I think he left when he left Continental Wrestling. He decided to open him a restaurant, and I think Pensacola. I think it was Pensacola, and he would do chicken. He would smoke chicken, and that chicken was so good. Man, it was so good. I'll never forget. He brought it to us and said, "What do you guys think about this?" I'm thinking about. I think he was going to retire from wrestling. He wasn't going to wrestle anymore. He said, "Do you think people would buy this?" And we said, "Oh yeah, I will buy it right now." Whatever. So good, man. It was good, and I think he did do that for a while. So Larry Vanderpool, Kamala, the Ugandan giant. Yes, that was tremendous. Let's see, Norvell Austin, Richard Hood, Bobo Brazil with Glenn, Ray Candy. We forget about Ray Candy.
Yeah,
wrestler. Yes, the Candy Man was over.
Oh, Pez Watley. We left Pez Watley out. We can't let Pez out.
Pistol Pez Watley, Ron Simmons, Charlie Cook, Bobo Brazil. There's something about Charlie I just couldn't get with. I don't know why. Maybe it's because he left me in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, owing me money. Maybe that's the reason. Charlie Cook. Let's see. Today is the 51st anniversary of Pedro Morales beating Ivan Koloff for the WWF title. Sean Smith. Michael Barr did say Pistol Pez Watley. Kern was better than Graham. My Graham. I'd probably agree with that. You know, and my Graham had a horrible attitude, by the way. Whew, man. Kevin said Haleyville has a rec center. Yes, that's where we were at. We were at the rec center there. Packed. Sting was on the card. Sting was late. I don't think he got the show. Maybe he might have got there. Maybe about 15 minutes before he was supposed to wrestle. I surely believe that.
He actually got stopped in Powell, Alabama that night for speeding.
Oh,
that's why he was late.
Well, I guess when you leave late, that's what happens to you. Don't buy a car from Kendall Bike Check. Is that Ricky Hunter, Jerry Oates always talked about?
Yes.
Is he?
Yes, it is.
Victor Nash said, make sure you get over there to ProWrestlingTees.com and buy the Inside Now merchandise. Also become a supporter on the channel. Stuart Kemp, a couple names that may never make a list but deserve are Jerry Morrow and the great Gama Singh, Stampede, Impact, and Worldwide. Dennis Mitchell, Why did Tom Pritchard call himself the Rock and Roll Cowboy? I didn't even know he did that. He called himself that.
I don't remember that.
I don't either. Ken Lucas was big in Dothan. Rip Rogers, tremendous wrestler.
I believe today's Rip's birthday.
Is it? Well, I always liked Rip.
7 or 68. I can't remember.
It looks great too.
Oh man.
Dickie Steinberg born should be somewhere up in the 50s. I agree. I forget about him. Bearcat Keith Lee. That's right. Yeah. Let's see. He probably didn't know who Bearcat Brown was. He probably didn't know who Bearcat Wright was.
He didn't like the Bearcat name either. I guess because it wasn't his idea, so he didn't have a historical reference.
Yeah, he probably didn't even know who they were. Michael Barr. Brett, did your wife put you in the basement? You're wearing a coat. I stay cold constantly now. I just don't ever warm up anymore. It could be. Let's see. What's that name? I know there's a name for that.
Narcoleptic NXT.
Yeah, they got a girl that's doing that. I'm telling you.
She's not the only one they put.
That's true. NXT has gotten horrible since they changed it. It's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. Check out Ricky Morton. I guess I'm not for sure what he was talking about. Versus Joey Jumping Mags. That's what he's talking about. Probably a great match. Sean Smith, Bob Orton Jr. was played with that broken arm for most. He was, man. He never did get over that thing. I think he'd still wear that today if you saw him. Remember Ernie turning on Dusty and getting my noggin getting beat on and Dirty Rose out there.
That's good stuff.
Yeah. Congrats to Keith Lee and Mia Yim.
Yeah.
Marriage over the weekend. Is Danhausen actually a wrestler?
No, he is an entertainer.
Yes,
and he's very evil.
Just the stuff they did. Congrats to Brian Danielson on his Ring of Honor Hall of Fame nomination. They gonna let him go there to accept that?
I think so.
Sean Smith, Shane to AEW, where it will come out that WWE owns AEW. Burhead was so nice. Yeah, Wendy, yeah. He was nice. And
he could sell programs or pictures better than anybody I've ever seen.
He could.
And when it comes, like we were talking about Montgomery, when it come to Burhead, he was the man in Montgomery. Super Burhead.
Levi Banks wrestled for Jim Crockett or Crockett's in the early 70s. I just didn't remember. I don't remember him. So.
I believe it's in some of the cards in that reunion of County Hall book. I believe he was on that now that I'm thinking about it.
Booker T said he and Stevie Ray were coming for Hulk Hogan.
We'll just leave it at
that. He always attended the reunions in Mobile. All right. I just never met the man. Patricia Billy Brooks.
And maybe could he have wrestled under another name and we know him as a different person, though?
I don't know.
Possible?
Rick Brooks said Booker T served time in prison in Texas.
Yep, he did.
He did. Can't forget about New Jack. I can't, you know what? I just cannot put New Jack in there because he did some stuff that I just didn't agree with. He took advantage of people. I don't think he took advantage of what's his name again? What's the guy's name? Joe. Man, I can't. This was the first thing that goes to your mind, and you can't remember the rest.
COVID is real. Yeah.
Let's see, number 51, Kamala and Butch Reed. Hey, I agree with both of those. Michael, we're having problems with the group, so we're not doing it tonight because we can't. For some reason, it's just not working. We don't know why it's not working. It's just not working. And it doesn't notify people. It doesn't. Sometimes it don't even come on for the people, and we have no clue.
That was Gypsy Joe. Thanks, Daniel Lang.
Thank you so much.
Daniel, stand by. We'll probably need you again before this is over with.
Sorry, fellas. It was L.D. Lewis who wrestled in the 70s, not Levi Banks. Sean Smith. Raw and NXT were the only whatever with higher ratings last week.
That was programs.
Dynamite tanked with Punk versus. So did it really? It went down with that match.
I don't know if it tanked, but it didn't do good. Not like they expected.
They're saying Shane was going to wrestle Seth Rollins at WrestleMania.
And maybe it will happen anyway. I believe, I'm going to say it. I believe everything we're hearing, storyline. Heat with the wrestlers, blah, blah, blah. I think it's all storyline leading up for the WrestleMania.
You know, I was looking at something. You got to go, but I found this. Jack, don't you have one of these?
I've got a belly bag, but I don't have the official World Championship Wrestling belly bag.
We got a few of those.
Yeah, we have a few of those.
That one looks brand new.
Yeah,
we do it. We have some. I think I have some out in the office that are they're still in the bag.
There are too. I thought I'd show everybody this. This was, everybody. We used to always say, "You got your man purse today." This was. Everybody had one of those. So, all right, folks. Don't forget that we are bringing pro wrestling back. Pro Wrestling Inside Out is, and it will be Championship Wrestling coming to Knoxville Friday, March 18th, the Old City Performing Arts Center. You can go to livechampionshipwrestling.com. We got Matt and Joey Lynch, Randy Wayne, Toby Farley, Octavius Black, Ali Shabazz, I believe that's how you say his name, and a tremendous night of wrestling. If you like old school wrestling, go to livechampionshipwrestling.com. It'll give you more information, and we'll send you a place where you can buy your tickets. Jack, anything we need to talk about before we leave?
Like we got it covered.
Rodney?
I know that all of China is disappointed about the Olympics this week, being that their new resident, John Cena, did not sing the national anthem.
Oh, leave it to Rodney for that insight. Folks, thank you so much.
They were disappointed.
We'll see everyone next week. And for the insiders, it'll be a while before we do a show on the on the group because it doesn't work anyway. So at this point, it doesn't do us any good to do it. Thank y'all so much. And we'll see everyone next week right here on Pro Wrestling Inside Now.